Hey Dave, can you do a review of the Dell 7577? When is the 7577 review
Dell
coming up?
7577
please. Now make a review on when's the review of the 7577? I've been waiting, I want it, so please review it ASAP. Hello, I hear you're looking for an Inspiron 7577 video. Okay, this is not that laptop. JK, it is. I've had this for 3 weeks and I took my time on this one because this is an important device. I feel like a lot of people purchase this thing or the Inspiron 7000 line, and I wanted to make sure that I kind of tested it fully before I made this video. Okay, this thing, for the uninitiated, is the inexpensive gaming laptop from Dell. It's their Inspiron 7000 line, and this is their third iteration of it. When you have an inexpensive gaming laptop, there's got to be something, right? You want to find that one thing that the company cut the corner on or did something weird with to provide it at that price point. And these guys, they nailed it this year. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the screen. Last year, they launched with a TN panel that was unimpressive to say the least. This year, this launches with an IPS panel right off the bat, and it's pretty good. It's not amazing. It's a reasonably color accurate screen with decent brightness. The viewing angles aren't great, especially for an IPS panel, but it's way better than the old TN panel and actually slightly better than the IPS panel that they used previously. There's a 4K panel option, which I obviously don't have, but based on last year's panel, that was actually quite good, so if you do need higher resolution, I wouldn't be afraid to get that 4K upgrade. Okay, another thing they've added is a Thunderbolt 3 port. So they have all the regular stuff, USB 3, a bunch of them, 3 of them, Ethernet port, SD card slot, and the Thunderbolt 3 port is nice because this one's running 4 lanes of PCIe, so if you're plugging up an external GPU to this thing, you're getting the maximum bandwidth. They've changed a few other things, some for the better, some for the worse. It's a design refresh. This one feels like it has some Alienware DNA creeping in. The grille is different. I wouldn't say it's better or worse from last year's. I personally like the design, but everyone's gonna be a little bit different. The soft touch material is gone. It's not on the surface, it's not on the keyboard deck, and I feel like that was a material that felt and looked really cool when you first got it, but as you use the computer more and more and it got gunky, it was just weird. So I'm personally happy that they removed it. The hinge is unchanged, and I didn't love the positioning of this hinge even last year. It's kind of closer to the middle. It makes it easier to torque. Like if you open this laptop from the side, you just tend to torque the screen a little bit more. And every time you do it, if you do it hundreds or thousands of times over the lifespan of the laptop, I don't know how it'll do for the longevity of that hinge. But last year's hinges seem to hold up well, so I feel like this one will be the same. The screen and the top panel have a little bit of flex to it, nothing too bad, but the keyboard deck is rock solid. It does not feel like a $1,000 gaming laptop. It's metal and there's no play or soft spots on this thing. The corner down here still bugs me. So last year's 7567 had the same kind of corner, and depending on your wrist positioning and just how you kind of use your keyboard, this can be an issue. It doesn't bother me, but if you have a very flat resting position for your arm, you might want to watch out for that. The keyboard itself is good, not amazing. It's an inexpensive gaming laptop, so you're not gonna get the best typing experience, but it's not bad. The keystrokes are a little bit short, and I wish I had white backlighting instead of this red stuff. The trackpad is also solid. It's a plastic surface, but it uses Windows Precision drivers, and the tracking is good. There's also a fingerprint sensor on the power button. This was actually something I didn't expect. They didn't advertise this. I didn't even see this at the IFA announcement. It might have been a late addition to this thing, but it's awesome. This thing works really quickly and accurately to get you into Windows. The webcam looks and sounds like this, nothing amazing. I feel like the image quality hasn't changed in like 3 years. It's not terrible, but it's not great. Getting inside the laptop is super easy. It's a single screw, and when you unscrew it off, it actually stays on the back panel. There's a C-clip that holds it in place, so you can't even lose the screw if you wanted to. Inside, we have a 2.5-inch hard drive bay. This slot is empty because I got an SSD with it, but it comes with the cable, comes with the caddy, so you don't have to buy any of that stuff if you want to add a hard drive to it. You have access to the SSD. The one that they include is actually really fast. The Wi-Fi card is good. It's the Intel 8265, and you also have access to the 2 RAM slots. The battery's down here, and it's smaller than last year, which was disappointing. So last year it was a 74 watt-hour battery. This year it's 56, and I'm getting around 4.5 hours of battery life, screen at 250 nits. Okay, I'm not sure why they did this, because the bigger battery on last year's model was one of its best features. It's one of its most distinguishing features from all the other gaming laptops that were available. That bigger battery was just it was like a 6-hour battery, so you could go through most of your day with just a single charge. This now puts it into the you gotta bring a charger with you laptops. And I don't know, that bums me out. It is a gaming laptop, so I can see why they did it, but it's disappointing nonetheless. Another thing that's changed this year is that there's no sub. So last year had a sub right in the bottom of the laptop, which helped give it a little bit more bass. It didn't have amazing speakers, but they were pretty good. This year, the speakers project at the front again, but because there's no sub, the bass is lacking. They sound good. They actually sound better in just terms of audio clarity. The mids and the highs are there's just more body to that sound. There's no distortion, but you definitely notice the lack of bass. Thermal management on this laptop is good. The external temperatures are good, the internal temperatures are good, there's no throttling even during long gaming sessions. They did an excellent job with the thermal management. The fan noise is also not bad. At idle the fans don't run, and on load it's still quiet. Okay, let's talk performance, and this is probably the most important part of this video. This laptop is running a GTX 1060 Max-Q and a Kaby Lake i7, the 7700 HQ. Now Max-Q chips tend to run at lower clock speeds. Both the core clock and the boost clocks are slower. But for whatever reason, on this laptop, the boost clock is actually quite high. It's not as high as a regular 1060 laptop, but we're hitting like 1645 megahertz, which is really, really close. Now, the performance I'm getting from this thing is not as good as a regular GTX 1060 because it's not always going to hit the maximum boost clock, but everything except for the most demanding games will run really smoothly with really high graphics quality. Now, as for the reason as to why they're able to run their GPU a little bit faster, I'm not 100% sure. My theory is that because the thermal management is as good as it is, they're able to bump up that boost clock and the fans will take care of it, but honestly, I'm not 100% sure. But whatever the reason, it doesn't even matter because you're getting a really fast laptop that's going to be faster than most GTX 1060 Max-Q laptops out there, and consumers win. Okay, if you're interested in this thing, I give it 2 thumbs up. It's really like, there's not much to dislike about this thing. Maybe the battery life. That's basically it. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. See you guys next time.